People respect results, not potential. That's the brutal truth. You can talk about your dreams, your ambition, your passion all day long, but no one truly cares until you turn them into reality. Look around you. The world does not stop for your intentions. Nobody rewards you for having good ideas or working hard behind the scenes. People measure you by what you've already built, not by what you're planning to build. It's uncomfortable, but it's undeniable. Potential is invisible until it manifests into something solid. When you say, "I want to become successful," people nod politely. But when you actually are successful, suddenly those same people act as if they always believed in you. Why? Because society is wired to admire the finished product, not the unfinished process. Think about it. No one claps for a building still under construction, covered in scaffolding and dust. They wait until it's shining in the skyline, complete, undeniable, and permanent. Your life works the same way. Here's the cruel irony. While you are in the trenches, sweating, failing, and crawling forward, you will be ignored. You'll invite friends to see your progress, and they'll give excuses, but announce that you've won something significant: money, recognition, status, and watch how quickly their attention shifts. This isn't because people are evil, it's because human beings are drawn to certainty. They invest their energy where there's proof of success, not where there's a risk of failure. So, when you're struggling, don't expect applause. Don't expect people to believe in your dreams as much as you do. They won't, and they shouldn't, because it's your responsibility to convert those dreams into something tangible. Respect must be earned, not begged for. That's why the phrase "no friends until you win" is not just an observation, it's a principle of life. People want to be associated with winners because winners symbolize survival, strength, and security. Until you embody those things, you will walk alone. Now, here's the part that hurts. The same people who dismiss you today might come running back tomorrow when you succeed. And you'll realize something chilling: they weren't blind. They were waiting to see if you were real or just another dreamer destined to quit. That's why your job is not to convince anyone while you're still fighting. Your job is to fight until the victory is undeniable. Once the results speak, they will silence every doubt and every critic. Understand this deeply. Potential means nothing without proof. Hard work means nothing without outcomes. Even your character, your kindness, your good intentions, none of it will matter to society until you have the weight of results behind you. Results give your voice authority, they give your life credibility, and they give people a reason to finally listen. That is the harsh truth about success. You must win first, then the world will care. Loneliness is the price of building greatness. That's not a poetic exaggeration, it's a law of reality. If you are trying to climb higher than the average person, you cannot expect company along the way. Most people will not understand your hunger, your discipline, or your vision. They'll think you're obsessed, extreme, maybe even delusional. And because they cannot see what you see, they will quietly distance themselves. What feels like abandonment is actually just proof that you are walking a path too narrow for the crowd. People crave comfort. They want weekends, laughter, distractions, and easy pleasures, but you are sacrificing comfort for a future nobody else believes in yet. You're working while they're resting. You're thinking long term while they're lost in the short term. And that creates a natural separation. They will call you antisocial. They will say you've changed. They will even mock you for being too serious. But let me tell you something. Greatness demands isolation, because greatness is born in the silence of relentless focus. Imagine a sculptor chiseling a block of stone into a masterpiece. That work is lonely. No one stands there for hours watching every strike of the hammer. No one applauds each chip that falls away. The sculptor spends days, months, years in solitude while the world continues on without him. Only when the statue is revealed do the crowds suddenly appear to admire it. Your life is no different. While you are chiseling yourself into something extraordinary, you will feel invisible. But that invisibility is not failure. It is the required silence before the explosion of recognition. Here's the paradox: loneliness feels like punishment, but it's actually protection. It strips away distractions, fake friendships, shallow connections, and forces you to face yourself. Alone, you confront your weaknesses. Alone, you refine your discipline. Alone, you learn to rely on your inner strength instead of external validation. If you cannot handle loneliness, you cannot handle leadership, because leadership is nothing more than making decisions in the absence of applause. The reason so many people quit on their dreams is not lack of talent. It's because they cannot survive the loneliness that success demands. They crave company more than they crave destiny. They choose comfort over conquest. They want someone to hold their hand and say, "I believe in you." But when no one says it, they collapse. That's why most people stay average forever. You must understand, if you are walking a lonely road, you are not failing, you are being forged. Every night you sit alone working, every event you miss, every time you eat in silence while others party, you are paying the price that greatness demands. Loneliness is not a curse, it is tuition. It is the down payment for a future so powerful that those who left you will one day regret they didn't stand by your side. So stop fearing loneliness, embrace it, because that silence, that emptiness, that feeling of walking alone, that is the exact proof that you are on the path to something beyond ordinary. And one day, when you arrive, you'll realize the loneliness was never killing you, it was carving you. Betrayal and silence reveal who never believed in you. This is one of the harshest discoveries you will face on your journey to success. The people you once trusted, the ones you thought would stand with you through storms, will vanish the moment you start failing, or worse, when your vision looks too ambitious for their comfort. And sometimes it won't even be direct betrayal, it will be silence. They won't openly attack you, they'll just stop calling, stop supporting, stop showing up. And that quiet absence will speak louder than any insult ever could. Why does this happen? Because your ambition is a mirror. It forces people to confront their own mediocrity. When you decide to chase something higher, you remind them of everything they've given up on. Some can't handle that reflection, so instead of cheering you on, they secretly hope you fail. It makes them feel safer, because if you fall, they don't have to feel guilty about never trying themselves. This is why betrayal often comes from the closest ones. They know your power threatens their comfort. And silence is betrayal in disguise. When people know you're working towards something life-changing, and they stay quiet, that's not neutrality, it's rejection. Their silence says, "I don't believe you'll make it, I'll wait and see." And you'll notice, the moment you finally win, their silence will turn into sudden praise, sudden messages, sudden fake loyalty. They were never blind, they were cautious. They didn't want to be seen backing someone who might fail. They were betting against you without saying a word. This realization hurts more than failure itself. You'll sit alone, replaying conversations, remembering the promises people made. "I'll always be there. I believe in you." And you'll see how hollow those words were. Betrayal cuts because it destroys the illusion you had of someone. Silence cuts because it forces you to face the truth. You were walking alone even when you thought you weren't. But here's the beauty hidden in the pain. Betrayal is a filter. It removes the weak from your circle before you rise. Imagine if everyone who doubted you still had access to you. When you succeeded, they would drain your energy, manipulate your trust, and sabotage your focus. Their betrayal is painful, but it's also purification. It clears the stage for real allies to enter later, after you've proven yourself. So don't waste your tears over people who betrayed you or stayed silent. Their absence is not your loss, it's your protection. They revealed who they truly were, and now you can move forward without the weight of false loyalty. Remember this: betrayal is not the end of your story. It is confirmation that your path is dangerous enough to scare people away. And silence, that is simply proof that you were always stronger than you thought, because you were carrying yourself alone. Every great person in history was betrayed. Every leader faced silence from those who should have stood beside them. It's not a sign you're weak. It's the clearest sign you are becoming powerful. Society crowns the winner and forgets the struggler. That's the brutal truth no one wants to admit. The world loves success stories, but it has no patience for failures in progress. If you are struggling right now, you may think people will remember your effort, your sacrifice, your sleepless nights. But they won't. They will only remember the outcome. If you win, you become a legend. If you lose, you become invisible. That is the cold calculation society runs every single day. Think about it. How many people talk about the inventors who failed thousands of times before creating something revolutionary? Hardly anyone, but the moment one succeeds, that name is immortalized. The world doesn't care about the countless who tried and failed, who worked just as hard, who sacrificed just as much, but didn't cross the finish line. History erases them because society has no memory for the struggler. It has only appetite for the victor. And this should shock you, but also liberate you, because it means complaining gets you nowhere. Sympathy is temporary. People will nod when you say you're struggling, maybe even offer encouragement, but the second you stop fighting, you vanish from their minds. No one builds statues for people who almost made it. Society crowns the winner because victory is proof. Proof that you were disciplined enough, smart enough, relentless enough to transform pain into power. Proof that you went further than everyone else. The crown belongs not to the one who suffered the most, but to the one who turned suffering into triumph. This is why you cannot afford to quit, because the moment you stop, the world will move on without you. Nobody pauses their life to honor your almost success. You must finish. You must break through. You must hold that crown in your hands, because only then will people finally pay attention. You'll notice how quickly everything changes once you win. Suddenly, doors open. Suddenly, people want to associate with you, learn from you, praise you. But don't be fooled, it's not you they love. It's the crown on your head. This is why the struggler feels invisible. Because until you win, your story is incomplete. Until you win, your value is hidden. Until you win, your name is just another whisper in the wind. But the moment you win, society turns that whisper into an echo heard for generations. And here lies the hardest truth. It doesn't matter how good you are, how hard you try, or how much you deserve it. If you don't win, the world forgets you. If you do win, the world remembers you forever. So stop begging for recognition while you're still in the struggle. The world owes you nothing for trying. The crown is not given, it is earned, and once you wear it, everything you endured will suddenly make sense. The nights alone, the failures, the betrayals, the silent society will act as though they always knew you'd make it. But deep down, you'll know the truth. They only showed up because you won. Real friendship begins after you've proven your worth. That sounds cruel, but it's reality. Before you succeed, people don't actually know who you are. They only know the version of you that is untested, unfinished, uncertain. They can't see your potential the way you see it, so their loyalty is shallow. They laugh with you, they hang around you, but deep down they are waiting. Waiting to see if your words will ever transform into something real. And until that day comes, their friendship is conditional, fragile, and temporary. But when you finally succeed, when you've bled, sacrificed, and clawed your way into undeniable victory, something changes. Suddenly, the friendships that appear are not based on pity, not based on let's hang out and kill time, but based on respect. Real respect, because now you've proven you can carry weight, you can endure storms, you can make the impossible possible. And only then do the right people reveal themselves. Think about it, before success, you are vulnerable. Fake friends stick close because it costs them nothing. They can talk big with you, pretend to dream with you, but they vanish the moment life gets hard. After success, everything reverses. The people who come into your life then have no illusions. they see your worth clearly. They know you're not just a talker, you're a doer. They know you're not just another dreamer. You're proof that dreams can be forged into reality. That kind of friendship is built not on convenience, but on earned admiration. And yes, this truth stings. Because it means the friends you wanted to count on in the beginning won't always be there at the end. But ask yourself, would you really want them to be? A true friend is not someone who holds your hand during every failure. A true friend is someone who respects you enough to stand by you after you've proven you're worth standing beside. That kind of loyalty is not given, it's earned through the fire of results. The danger is when people confuse early companions with true friends. Just because someone laughs with you in your small beginnings doesn't mean they'll celebrate with you in your victories. In fact, many will resent you when you rise higher than them, and that resentment disguises itself as betrayal, envy, or distance. It's painful, but it's necessary, because every fake friend that falls away creates space for a real one to step in. And here's the ultimate irony: the more you win, the fewer friends you'll need, because real friendship is rare, but it's powerful. One true ally, I discovered after success, is worth more than 100 fake ones who clapped for you before. Greatness doesn't give you more friends. It filters out the wrong ones and leaves only the ones strong enough to walk beside you at your peak. So don't be discouraged when people leave during your struggle. Don't chase after their approval. Win first. Prove yourself. Become undeniable, because when you do, the right people will appear. Not to use you, not to doubt you, but to stand with you. Real friendship begins only after you've proven your worth. Until then, you will walk alone.